Hi, I'm Jonathan Lipnick, a professor at the Israel Institute of Biblical Studies, and today we're going to talk about the Bible's concept of the nose. Yes, indeed, the Bible mentions the word nose dozens of times, but in most of those cases, it's not actually referring to the physical feature on one's face, but rather to the metaphorical concept of anger. What is the connection between a nose and being angry? Well, in many of these cases, what we're talking about is God's anger. And it mentions several times where God's divine anger was kindled. The Hebrew phrase there is chara apo, which literally means his nostrils burned. By contrast, when God is slow to anger, having compassion, his anger relents, the phrase in Hebrew is erech apayim, which means his nostrils were elongated. What's going on here? How can it be that the God of the Hebrew Bible, who has no body, has a nose which is both shortened and long? It seems very odd. Well, in fact, it's not so strange, because this is a problem that every people who talks about an abstract concept of an incorporeal God has. How can you use physical language to describe something that has no material? When the Hebrew Bible talks about God's anger, it chooses to use very physical language that's drawn from the human body. This does not mean that the God of the Hebrew Bible has a body, but only that the language that's used to describe him is colorful and poetic and alludes to familiar bodily parts. When you read the Bible, however, in English translation, many of these metaphors have been expunged, and the language becomes much flatter and much more boring. So to go back to the original Hebrew is to see the Bible in three dimensions with all of its metaphors and allusions built in. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn more about the authentic meaning of Scripture, watch this video, subscribe to our channel, and visit our website.